Oh man. All right, let's take a look. If you're looking for a screen protector for the brand new iPhone 15 Pro Max that you won't be able to scratch, even in the most extreme situations, you're definitely going to want this protector I have here for you today. It's made from pure synthetic sapphire. It's got a 9 hardness on the Mohs scale, and it's also got a thickness of 0.23 millimeters. And you're definitely going to want to stick around to the end of the video because I will be doing an extreme torture test to show you how scratch resistant this screen protector is versus your regular old tempered glass. Now I know you've seen a lot of tempered glass screen protectors out there say they have a 9H hardness, but 9H and 9 on the Mohs scale are two different things. And later on in the video, you'll see exactly what the difference is. And if you're interested in buying the screen protector, I will be putting links in the video description. So we have two different screen protectors we're going to be testing here today. One is Privacy Sapphire and the other is Clear Sapphire. And we're going to start off by doing a scratch test with things that you might find in your pocket or your purse, and then we're going to get a little extreme. So let's get started. I've been using Shellrus screen protectors now for the past 5 years, and I have yet to get a scratch on my screen. Not only does it protect your phone, but it also ups the resale value when you go to sell. So here we get one screen protector, an installation guide, and an installation packet. So first clean off your screen really well, then dry it off, remove any dust, place your guide over the phone, remove your screen protector, and place it down on top of your phone. Run your finger down the middle. You can also help it along. Remove the guide. And we do have some bubbles that we can just lift up on the screen protector to get them out. So there it is on the phone. Installation was pretty easy and I was able to get those bubbles out just by lifting up the screen ever so slightly. This is also a full coverage screen protector. And as you can see, there is a little piece where your camera is where it doesn't have any privacy film, so it won't interfere with your selfies. As far as touch, feels nice and smooth, just like the glass that's on the phone. For fingerprints, it does seem to pick up some smudges, but you can very easily just wipe those away. The edges of the screen are also rounded off, so they're nice and smooth. Now the screen protector does come almost all the way to the edge of the phone screen, so it may not be case friendly with most cases, but we're going to try it out with a case that we have here. Looks really nice on the phone. Does not interfere with Face ID. Now just like all privacy screen protectors, it does dull the screen down a little bit. As you can see, it's not that bright, so you may have to turn the brightness up on your phone to see everything nice and clear. Touch working perfectly fine. Let's check out our camera. No issues with the camera, it's nice and clear. So let's put it in our case. And it seems like the screen protector comes right up to the edge of the case itself. I don't see any lifting and I don't see any bubbles. And if you're wondering, this case is made by ESR, so that looks pretty good. And I like the fact that the screen does come all the way up to the edge, because when there's gaps, that's just places for dust to collect. So looking good so far. Let's test out that privacy screen. So as you can see, you're holding your phone, looking at it normally, but if anybody's off to the side, you won't be able to see what's on your screen. Works out really well. All right, so far so good. Now we're going to move on to the scratch test with things that you would typically find in your pocket or your purse before we go extreme. So here we have a nail, we have a key, we have a quarter, we have some scissors, and we also have a razor blade. So let's start off with the coin, because typically everybody's going to have this in their purse or their pocket. So here's the quarter test. All right, let's take a closer look. And I do not see any scratches or damage whatsoever. So it passed the quarter test. All right, so now let's move on to the key, another thing that you might have in your pocket or your purse. Let's take another closer look, and you can see Again, there is no scratches or damage to the screen. All right, so now let's move on to the scissors. You obviously won't have these in your purse or your pocket, but you may have a smaller version of them. So give it a little wipe. And as you can see, there are no scratches on here either. So now let's move on to the nail. You may or may not have this in your pocket, but it's still cool to test out. Again, still pristine. No scratches, no damage. Now let's move on to the razor blade. You know how sharp these things are. And once again, no scratches or damage to the screen. Now we're going to move on to the first extreme test. That had to leave something. Wow, again, no scratches, no damage. I am pretty impressed. So we have one more extreme test we're going to do for the screen protector, but first, I want to show you the difference between 9H hardness and Mohs 9. Now typically regular tempered glass starts to scratch around a Mohs number 6. But this screen protector is sapphire and can withstand a Mohs 9 hardness. So when you hear 9H hardness, that's not nearly as hard as Mohs 9. So same with all tempered glass screen protectors, we're going to be starting off with a Mohs number 5. All right, now if we take a closer look, you can see that there are no scratches on this screen whatsoever. And if you've seen any of my other tempered glass scratch tests, you'll know that they mostly scratch around a number 6 and some even scratch at a number 5, and this one doesn't even scratch at a number 9. That's why Sapphire is the most scratch resistant screen protector ever. Now we have one more scratch test to do, and that's the most extreme. So now we're going to move on to the extreme scratch test. Here I have tempered glass, and on the left I have the Sapphire screen protector. We're going to be scratching both these phone screens on this rough concrete here, and when we're done, you're going to see the extreme difference. All right, so again, we're going to start off with the regular tempered glass. That sounds horrible. Oh man, this definitely isn't going to be good. Oh, look at that screen. Not only is it scratched, but it's all cracked. That's what happens when you have a tempered glass screen protector. Definitely not good. And then here we have the Sapphire screen protector. Let's see what happens when we scratch this on the concrete. Oh, that really doesn't sound good either. Oh man. All right, let's take a look. Oh, that looks really bad. Hold on, let me wipe it off really quick. Fooled you, didn't I? Look at that. Pristine. That's the difference between a 9 Mohs hardness and a 9H hardness. So now let's kind of yeet it down the driveway. So it does look like it has some scratches on it. Let's just wipe it off really quick. Perfect. No damage, no scratches. Pristine. So there was only one possible explanation that I could come up with as to why the screen protector actually scratched after I yeeted it down the driveway, and that's recently I actually had my whole garage floor replaced. And after they're done pouring the concrete and it hardens, they need to cut these long lines in the concrete, and I looked it up online, and it seems like they actually use diamond-tipped blades to do the cutting. So I'm thinking that maybe there might have been some diamond dust or something along the driveway that actually scratched the screen, because diamonds are a 10 on the Mohs hardness scale, and a 10 will scratch the screen. Now, there's no way for me to know for sure that this absolutely happened, but it's the only explanation that I could come up with as to why the screen got scratched. Now we're going to install the clear sapphire. This clear sapphire has the exact same properties as the privacy screen for scratch tests and drop tests. Again, you get one screen protector, an installation guide, and your installation packets. So first clean off your screen really well, then dry it off, remove any dust, put on your guide, remove the protector from the plastic backing, and then place the protector inside the guide. Remove the guide, and then check for bubbles. It does look like we have some down at the bottom, but I can just push those out with my finger, and it looks like a perfect installation. I don't see any bubbles, no lifting. The screen protector is a full coverage screen protector, so it does cover your cameras. We're going to test that out in just a second. It also seems to almost come right up to the edge of the screen, so it may not be case friendly with most cases, but we're going to test that out as well. As far as touch, nice and smooth, just like the glass that's on the phone. And for fingerprints, picks up very minimal fingerprints, as you can see, and you can just very easily wipe those away. So let's test out our Face ID. Face ID works fine, and as you can see, it is crystal clear, and touch is working perfectly fine. Now let's test out our camera. Camera looks nice and clear, don't see any issues there. Put it in our case. And it seems to fit perfectly inside this case. There's just a very small gap down at the bottom, but it seems to come right up to the edge of the case on the top and both of the sides, which I prefer because when there are gaps, that's just places for dust to collect. And if you're wondering, this is an ESR case. All right, looking good so far. Now let's move on to the drop test. So let me explain something before we start the drop test. Now, this screen protector is very hard, and it's very hard to scratch, but it doesn't mean that it's not hard to be damaged. It's kind of like tungsten rings. They're very hard to scratch, but if you drop them on a hard floor, they could shatter. This screen protector is no different, but it will still protect your phone's screen, even though it might crack a little easier. So we're going to be dropping a 2.4 ounce ball from a height of 2 feet. If the screen protector doesn't crack, we'll move it up foot by foot until it eventually does. So here we go at 2 feet. Here we go at 3 feet. Go. Here we go at 4 feet. So this screen protector lasted up until a 4-foot drop, which is definitely not bad because it's such a hard material. I'd rather have a really scratch resistant sapphire screen protector over regular tempered glass. So it was super easy to install. It may or may not work with most cases. You're just gonna have to try it out with your particular case. Drop protection lasted up until a 4-foot drop, and scratch resistance is the best that I've ever seen on any screen protector ever. I'm really interested to know what is more important to you guys, scratch resistance or drop protection. Let me know in the comments below. For me, I'm not so concerned about drop protection because typically your screen is going to be protected even though the protector cracks. but the screen comes in contact with so many different things throughout the day, maybe some sand in your pocket, your keys, things that I've showed you before, so scratch protection is definitely more important for me. And if you guys want to pick it up yourself, I will be putting a link in the video description, along with a discount code that'll save you some money. And if you guys enjoyed the video, it would really help out my channel if you gave me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.